Zach Veach.
Felipe Nasser, and you're listening to Checkers and Records.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, good morning. Yo, 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 it's Mike with a broken toe coming in smooth like Dr. Seuss here this morning. Happy Seuss week to everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic one here. Sorry about missing you last week. Took a week off to recharge the old batteries after a 12-hour Bathurst excitement. But that's what we're going to be chatting about today is iRacing doing a little update here. This week, they're going to have some fun. We're going to get some new content. We'll talk a little bit about that. But first off, William Byron gets his first win of the season last week, and I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this momentum carries for not only Byron, but for Team Hendricks here? Because in my opinion, I think it's more of a team deal because you saw Larson. I mean, I hate to keep bringing him up. I hate to be that guy. Man, he was ripping that top side last week. He was ready to take a win. He was ready to get it done. Just shy here. Obviously, you got the momentum of the champion, Chase Elliott, running off from last year. And a solid win there with Byron last week. And I'll tell you, that's a driver that, in my opinion, does he get it done week in, week out? No. Does he get it done when he knows he's being watched, when he knows that, hey, it's time to shape up a little bit here? Absolutely. I think he does. Tim, I'm going to agree with you there, and I may say he gets it a little earlier than that even. He's riding, and I hate to keep using the word momentum, but we as racers, we know how much that plays a fact here, and or a factor, I should say. And we see that he's coming off the best year of his career, whether it be away from NASCAR or not. He had a phenomenal year. One of the arguably better seasons we've ever seen with a driver, period. And to come off of that style year and to set yourself up in the best equipment that NASCAR has at the moment, in my opinion, you are right. I agree. My confidence is high. My confidence is high with that young one, with that young money. We'll say in my terrible Star Wars there. But yeah, I do. I really think that this is a strong role for Hendricks. They're on a really good roll here early on in the year. And that's something that maybe with Hendricks we haven't seen so much. Thank you, Bryce. They haven't seen so much throughout the seasons. Usually Hendricks seems to kind of kick it on maybe a quarter of the way through the season, halfway through the season. They really start to hit their own, really start to get on their stride. And I'd be interested to see how that really comes into play here this season, because I really do. I think they're starting off strong. They have a very good foundation behind them here, and I'm interested to see how it goes there. So outside of that, we got a little practice coming our way with F1. I'm looking forward to getting those guys back in the car. Some of those liveries, they've been releasing these new liveries throughout. F1 does their fancy show of the vehicles, the new rides, stuff like that. We saw the McLaren here. We were able to show that to you guys on BWSPORTS1.com. We've seen pretty much, I think, everybody now but Ferrari. I'm trying to think if there's one maybe we haven't seen, but I think at this point now, we are solely waiting on Ferrari. Not the biggest fan of the new Mercedes look. I prefer what they had last year compared to this year, but hey, at the end of the day, the look of the car, it might look good going, but If it ain't on top of the board, what's the look matter? But let me know, what do you guys think is the best looking F1 ride out there this year? Obviously, you got so Michael. I want to say something about that. Did you see that they are being investigated by FIA and the anti-doping committee on that livery? It's something that blows your mind. Absolutely blows your mind. And I don't have enough backstory on this, but it has to stem off something to do with the Olympics, that the World Doping Committee came in and they banned Russia. And so with that, they said you can't run as a Russian athlete. You can't run as or with a Russian flag. Okay, so Mazepin is in Haas. He is from Russia. He brings a lot of Russian money to this team, and they pop out a livery, and on the wings, I mean, it's the Russian flag. I mean, no doubt about it. If I'm Haas, maybe skew it a little bit to look like, hey, I'm Gene Haas. It's an American team, red, white, and blue. But they slap that bad boy on there to look dead up like it. And now they're going to possibly pay for it. Kind of an interesting thing you wouldn't see necessarily being investigated in NASCAR. A Russian flag you wouldn't see investigated in IndyCar. But hey, Formula One is more of a world sport. It's more of a worldly deal. So they handle with that World Doping Committee, and it's like, whoa, okay. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated if there's any livery change at the Haas headquarters. That was crazy is an understatement. That's the Checkers and Wreckers craziest story of the week right there. So moving into moving out of Formula One, I should say. Don't forget that Netflix has that Drive to Survive season 3 coming out, and I'll tell you that really captured. I'll do a special, I think, just kind of on the past 2 seasons going into season 3, because it really is a solid documentary. It shows you behind the scenes something we've never really seen of Formula One, because Formula One has been so closed off for so long now that it's really an interesting perspective into a sport, like I said, with so many closed doors, with so many sheets up in the air there. It's interesting to see, to go back and really kind of I'm gonna get to know the personalities of these drivers, because excuse me, because you don't unfortunately through F1 it seems like a lot of these guys kind of come off as more of your arrogant type, more of your kind of pinky in the air, if you will. But I think after you watch this, you kind of realize that, hey, these guys are just people like we are. So it's pretty interesting there. I've really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. To hit on Tim's, I didn't like it. I'll be honest. I watched it. I just thought it was too hokey. I thought it was too kind of out there. And I like Kevin James. I do. I can get down on some Kevin James. I just wasn't the biggest fan of the crew. What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Maybe I think I watched like 4 or 5 episodes. I haven't watched the entire thing yet. I just don't know if I can get myself to really get down there and do it. It's and I get it. Yeah, you're right. It's not your Drive to Survive, if you will. It's not showing you the backside of NASCAR, so don't go in there expecting anything like that. But I don't know. I think I had more expectations there for Kevin than what he produced there. So I'll give it a valid. I'll watch the rest of this season there and finish it off there as I throw my phone. But yeah. So we look into season one is we're over here on iRacing. We are just about finished as we put the final nails in the coffin here. What were your favorite races, maybe of season one? What was your favorite? Maybe you had a favorite moment. Maybe you won a championship throughout season one. Well, let me know right now. I want to know what you guys had out there, what you saw season one. What was your favorite addition to iRacing there? So I think Josh Essen says, thank God. It's been rough for some people, obviously. It's been rough for some people. So I'm trying to think if we look back and I had to, I'm really trying to think what was new this past time. I didn't really get down on the Lamborghini too much. You know what, Tim? That's it. Cedar Lake was a very good track. I did like that one. I've ran the midgets on that one. I've ran sprints on that one. I'm not too much of a late model guy myself. I can't imagine whipping a late model around there. It's too fun. I did, however, the modifieds. The modifieds. That's those big blocks are fun. That right there is a good time. I've been doing the 358s. I just finally started to put my toes in the water with the big blocks. Shout out to Dustin Hall. I was in a practice session with him before. That's where I see guys like Hessen, Hall, all these guys that I've ran. I think I've ran into Tim there. Yeah, but it's always in the practice session before, and then we get booted and we split. I go to the bottom, they go to the top. So, but like I said, I'm starting to dip my toes in to the big block a little more. And I was joking around with somebody the other day. I was saying, I wish this is where iRacing would put a little more video game, if you will, into it. And the fact that these things are so hard to drive under a caution. They're tough. I mean, you're over here, come on. I mean, you can ride the brake. Excuse me. You can ride the brake to help it out. But it's not to that extreme of just kind of a sprint car, even with that stagger, is easier to drive under caution. Now, getting out of the pits with the sprint car is another problem in its own. But I wish maybe during caution they would just kind of clean those up, maybe make them a little easier to drive. But I get the physics. You want to keep that as close as possible, so when those guys get into those cars, they know how it's going to feel. So I get it. It's kind of a double-edged sword there. I'm a baby when it comes to that. But I really think that they took a they took a solid car that everybody wanted and they made it very raceable. They made it very it's pretty darn fun. They did a very good job capturing what they needed to capture with the 358 and the big block, in my opinion. So, like Tim said, Cedar Lake, a phenomenal track there in its own. I can't wait until we can actually put it into the lake, because I'm sure everybody has tried. I don't think anybody's been successful yet. There's got to be a little opening. There's got to be a little opening somewhere. Let me know if you find that for sure. But I know some damage models are being brought. We got a lot of the open wheel vehicles getting a new damage model. We've got the street stocks getting a new damage model. The 87, the Legends cars getting a new damage model. And I really think as we see these damage models progress, we're going to see a lot better racing as well. But at the same respect, and this is something I've noticed throughout the past couple of weeks, as obviously you guys know I broadcast iRacing as well, I've seen a lot of net code. So I think as they bring a new damage model to the platform, as they get that really situated here, it's gonna really have to hammer down. They're gonna have to really make sure that people are on it when it comes to their connection, because I don't know if it's the internet on users end, or if it's something on iRacing's the servers end itself. But maybe with the new damage model that would increase or decrease. I'm not 100% certain. I don't know. You can look at it two ways. Right now, it's trying to replicate. I'm trying to pull data and figure out what's going on with that. And then, so it's thinking a lot. And then you get a new damage model, and it's crumbling as it hits. So it takes a little more maybe graphic, but as far as your computer, it's not thinking so much even anymore. That's where I'm not a programmer. I don't know 100% certain, but I think that's people also need to maybe they've come out and mentioned the deal with Comcast as well. It's like, hey, we've got a problem right now. We know it. We're trying to fix it. So if you know that there's that issue, don't run so hard with each other, because I've seen a lot of guys in the NIS this week that have caused themselves a race really because of those issues there. So I mean that's a broadcaster's 2 cents on a netcode issue, but it just seems like it's starting to become a little more prevalent, and as iRacing really boosts the server, what they're doing, it's going to be interesting to see how they keep up with the demands of everything they're putting into it, because obviously with these new features and such, it's taking a demand at those servers. So I look forward to it. It should be good. Obviously, I'm a road course guy. I'm very excited to see Hockenheim. Let's see here. Let me get these pulled up real quick. See what else. Nothing officially come out yet from Ira. They've been putting their teasers here and there. They haven't listed their whole deal yet, but the new content and features on the series, from what we see so far, is you're going to have your new super late model. That's your shiny new shakedown, is your new super late model. So a new super late model body. I think from the video, it looks like a little new interior. So updating the super late model package. I know a lot of guys looking forward to that, as that super late model, that it's that short track deal, as NASCAR's popularity, as its entertainment value kind of, I'm not going to say dwindles off, but as it is slowly plateauing, I guess, I think a lot of people are going to that short track action, and iRacing knew that they needed to fill that void, because that super late model, it was a little older. So interesting to see how that looks. It looks really good. So a lot of painters are going to be busy with the new super late model. You got your GT4s at the track I was talking about, Hockenheim. Looking forward to traveling to Germany and getting the road on that. You got the 87 in the street stocks on the silly Send It week. So why those? Well, like I said earlier, they got a new damage model there. So you're going to put the 87s and the street stocks next to each other. They're going to crumble some stuff up. We got a GT3 Challenge and RX cars on dirt ovals. So that'll be interesting to see. Exactly. Let's see if we got anything coming up here through iRacing. March 26th through the 28th is the Sebring event. So make sure you guys are getting ready for that. Getting pumped. Let's see what we say here. The problem is most people's equipment, and I will agree with you, because they go out there and they say, what's the cheapest way I can get in there? What's I need to know the absolute bottom dollar I can get into iRacing. You guys would never go into a street stock. You would never go into, let's be honest, a karting world and say, I want your bottom dollar race car. Give me your bottom dollar race car. You wouldn't. Yeah, everybody wants the best equipment. So I do think Whelen has a good point there is you have to. We've made this point before. Is you can learn on cheaper wheel and pedals. Put your money in the PC. Put your money in your engine. That's your engine. So I agree with Waylon 100% there. Thank you, Donald. I appreciate that. And they do. They give it a great. It's a fantastic, fantastic platform. I agree with that. And he said, "Uh-oh, Kyle's pumped. Kyle is pumped." He says, "The smoke and particles." That's one thing that Kyle, when you do a burnout in the NSRL, he is so disappointed. He's like, "Man, the smoke just isn't there. The smoke isn't there." Tony Stewart, he says, "The smoke isn't there." Well, now they're going to try to get the smoke there. They're going to try to get them going and see what they got there. So I haven't seen many updates. No, I didn't say you do. I just said when you do burnouts in the NSRL. I was telling them, the people. And so I haven't seen many updates with the 206. I saw Jeff Hill at Jeff Hill Trailer Sales, though. He was banging it out. He brought his trailer down there looking nice. So I believe the best update is the new pace car. Yeah, exactly. Kyle, we just need to boot Kyle from the comment section. That would be great. No, absolutely. Just it's interesting. I'm very excited to see, and this is something Kyle was talking about, and it's kind of above my head. He said he sent me him. Let's see him. Give me 1 second. We'll see. And but that's the one thing I think that Kyle was mentioning earlier is iRacing with all these updates, they're going to have to update their server eventually. And when they do that, that could cause some problems. I think they're slowly doing that over time in my mind. I think, in my opinion, that is what we see kind of slowly rolling out. So when they change the minimum requirements in your engine, as I'm going to call this now, I appreciate that way. That's our engine from now on. From like 8 to 16. I think that's a small tick in their server right there themselves. So it's saying, hey, at this point, your 8-cylinder engine needs to be 16. We need to be firing. I don't know the conversion of cylinders to gigabytes, but let's see here. So, like I said, we got Hockenheim, a new Sonoma Raceway, Bark River International, a new dirt road, and even more dirt racing content. We've added specialized dirt tires to classic asphalt oval machines. So that's going to make the dirt guys mad. Why not give the dirt guys some tire package? Instead, you're giving the asphalt guys dirt tires to go run over there. And I know why you're doing that, because of the Bristol dirt coming out there. So create a budget within your means on iRacing. Exactly, Dave. That's what I don't understand the whole deal of just going out to get it there. Make it right before we get it. And so season highlights include Super Late Model, Circuit de Barcelona. They got a rally cross going there. Bark River International Raceway. We got Bristol Speedway Dirt. Hockenheim, like I said. Sonoma. The IndyCar 2012 through 2018 layout is going on there. That'll be interesting. They're doing a little paint shop overhaul, which I'm not big on the paint shop myself on iRacing. I feel it's very clip art. I feel like Kyle's going to hate me, but if you're going to do that, just do GIMP, the freebie over there, or Matt's favorite, paint.net. I think, like I said, that's just not my deal, and I get it. They're trying to give you something just to put out there, but hey, do what you do, I guess. Let's see, the stock car dirt tires, smoke and dust, like Kyle was saying, replay and audio processing, compression and distortion effects, a new pace car, new damage model for the IR01, the Formula Renault 2.0, the NASCAR, the 87s, that is, and the street stock. They got new tires for the Aston Martin, the DBR9, the GT1, the Audi 90 GTO, BMW M4 GT4, the Chevy Corvette C6R GT1, the Ford GT GT2, Indy Pro 2000 PM18, Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Club Sport MR, Supercars, Ford Mustang GT, Supercars, ZB Commodore. We got the USF 2000, even some legacy cars getting the upgrade here. So that's interesting to see. I'm not going to run down the entire list. We got a little more AI content, and that especially here is going to be even more interesting to see as we grow as we go on here, because we got a couple ones we'll be playing with here, Kyle. As in AI world, it looks like what we got here. You're going to see a few more cars as far as the you're going to get a lot of road course and things like that. As far as the AI comes, you're getting some oval tracks like Las Vegas, New Hampshire. You're also going to get the New Hampshire road course, and that looks to be all. They're going to do a little fixed an issue, open a second instance iRacing UI. Members caused the first instance to visibly lock up. Not sure on that. So let's see what we say about that. Kyle says, I'm curious to see the paint shop overhaul. Scroll down to Brand Shop, Paint Shop Improvements. 3D Viewer gets a big improvement itself. So now that I do see as a benefit there. I was thinking that was more of just the kind of their version of trading paints, I think is what it is there. So micro sprints, that would be interesting. I still think iRacing needs to bring go-karts to the layout. I'm a fan. I understand that it's probably not the easiest, but I think that would be a solid, interesting one there. Dan says, any updates for no is the answer to Dan. I didn't see anything on lightings. You're saying like as far as like changing from a or being able to run at night? Are you saying like the exposure like was done last time? Because I'll say on the broadcasters in the last time, they did actually give us a lot of options as far as exposures and different things like that. So that was pretty cool to see on my end. Dave wants to see Phoenix get an update. Dave, it's pretty funny. Carl and I were talking about that last night. Matt's upset Watkins Glen didn't get the call up this time. I think that's something we see in the next build, as well as I do believe we're going to see the Indy road course be updated for that next build as well. You're lightning, not lighting. My bad. I got my old eyes on today. Goodness gracious, lightning. Oh, man. Well, guys, that about does it here for your buddy here, Tommy Boy. I've got a little pricks of pavement action to call tonight. We're at the Diamond in the Desert. That's right. Las Vegas. So I guess with that, it brings me to one of my favorite points of the week. That's right. The Checkers and Wreckers picks of the week. And I want you to pick these with me. I want you to pick your checker. Who you think's going to take the NASCAR win today? Who you think's going to be the wrecker? Not necessarily going to wreck, because we don't want to bet on a wreck, but somebody that doesn't you don't think's going to perform like they should. And then we got the third one, our dark horse pick. Somebody maybe gonna surprise us here today. So we got a defending champion, Joey Logano. And let's see, I'm gonna I hate to keep throwing the dart until it sticks. I hate to keep doing this. And this is my last week. I'd pick him if he doesn't do it. But I think that momentum's rolling. He's got a great starting position here today. Talked about it earlier. And I'm going to go with Kyle Larson here today for my checker. I think he puts it into victory lane. He is hanging on by the skin of our teeth to get that win. He is so close. I think, is it going to be just a road of victories here this season? No, but I do think he's going to get it early. I think it's going to be today. I said that last week, but man, starting third, I got to give him credit here. The number 5, Kyle Larson, puts it in victory lane here. Now my wrecker, I'm going to go with the same team here, but I'm going to go with Bowman as far as that because he's in that 48 this year. I don't think his head is as comfortable as I don't think he is as comfortable, I should say, in the 48 as he was the 88. More eyes now on him. He knows he has to perform to a little higher of a standard in my mind. So I just don't see him getting it done here. It'll be interesting because I do believe, we saw him get his first win, I do believe, was at the Auto Club, which was a 1.5 miles. So he's done it here at 1.5 miles before. I just don't think today is his day. We'll see. And a dark horse, I got to agree there with Kyle. Chase Briscoe. I did read an article this week earlier about him. He was saying, hey, this isn't as easy as people want to think it is, making this transition from Xfinity to NASCAR, this Cup car. We're seeing some of these guys, like we saw Christopher Bell get his first win. So it's taking a year, maybe a little longer, for these guys to really transition into their Cup car and really get a good feel. As every time I say that about Bell, people want to say, well, he didn't have the ride. That's an argument for another day because I do believe he could have won last year. I do believe he did have the ride. But I think you have to get used to that Cup car, and I do think that's where Briscoe he'll have his ups and downs this season. But I think a solid 1.5 miles today, like Vegas, and he does pretty good. So Dave saying Ryan Newman, Kyle Busch, and Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell is for what he has been so far, in NASCAR. I'm going to say he's on fire. He is on fire this season after coming, again, momentum. You win the Daytona 500. You come back, you finish in the top 10 in that road course, and right now you're sitting in the top 5, top 7 in points. It's like, wow, okay. You came to race. You came to be here this year. And I like it. I like it a lot. So we'll see. That's an interesting pick. I'd like to say yes. But I don't make promises. The guys, thank you so much. I hope you and even you. Yep. No, no. I got you already. And you especially, you right there. Thank you for joining. A big shout out to each and every one of our partners here today. MyBookie, Chummy Motorsports, Harman Designs, the ButtKicker Gamer 2. We got Driving for Dyslexia, Bruzy Racewear USA. Talk to Tucker with the Rockstar Realtor, Shawn Nugent. Check out Rocket Racing Setups and Doc Sports. Guys, you are the best. Thank you so much. I want you all to have a fantastic Sunday and an even better week here going forward. I'll see you later.